In the 1960s, Fidel Castro closed all the schools in his country. Most people would think that that would be a really negative thing, for someone to go ahead and close all the schools, the effect that it would have on students and on the community in that area. He closed the schools for a year and dispatched all the students, thousands of students and teachers and volunteers into the communities in Cuba so that they could help with the literacy rate in the country. Before his campaign, it was called the Cuban Literacy Campaign, and before that campaign, he saw that there was this issue that there was only 60% of the people in his country could read and write. So he closed the schools for a year, dispatched people into communities to teach people how to read and write, and by the end of that year, just before Christmas, 96% of people in their country could read and write. 96. That's really amazing. Yeah, let's clap for them, yeah. I really love this story because it's a testament to this idea of the power of people, people coming together to solve a problem. I'm Nigerian. I know I don't sound Nigerian, but I am. I was born in Ibadan. My father was from Osun State. My mother is from Ogun State. I've been splitting my time between Nigeria and the US since I was 10, back and forth, My parents did a really good job of not letting my siblings and I feel too comfortable with being in America, Everything that we were doing was about make sure you take it back to Nigeria, everything. So if we were playing basketball, make sure you take basketball back to Nigeria. If we're learning how to do dancing classes or Girl Scouts or chess or karate, everything that you're doing, make sure that you take it back to Nigeria. And I'm grateful to them for that because they instilled this ideal in me that, any talent or skill or passion that I have, that I should make sure that I use it and take it back home. And I will be grateful to them for that forever. I want to show the next slide, and the next slide is basically a group of people that I worked with in 2007 from film school. I was in film school at that time. And the reason that this time is really important to me is because it set the stage for the work that I have been doing these last few years. I wanted to tell a positive film about Nigeria and Africa while I was in film school. I had seen films like has anyone seen Tears of the Sun? Tears of the Sun had come out, and then there were these movies about war and famine and AIDS, people living with AIDS, which are, parts of our story here in Africa, but it's not the only story, So I wanted to do something different. So I called up my friends in film school, called up my friends in undergrad, and called my friends in Lagos, and I was like, can you guys help me make this film? Can we do this? And they're like, yes! Let's do it. So March of 2007, we all got together. We started doing pre-production for this film, Champion. And what we noticed while we were doing pre-production was that people in the community where we were shooting the film wanted to be part of it. So suddenly we had kids asking us, how do we use the camera? Can you teach us? People were asking about, how can we be an extra? People selling plantain or fish were asking how they can be involved. And suddenly the production started to grow. It started to get bigger. So we reached out to AIT, and we were like, can you guys screen this film for us when it's done? And they were like, yeah, we can screen it. And in addition to screening it, they also offered to give us a crew, cameras, access to lights, and sound equipment so that we can finish the film. And we finished it, and we did that with the power of people, right? So people coming together to work together to make this story about a boy with a dream come true. They all made it possible. So this next slide is of people from the organization I work with, UR for Africa and Public Art Africa. And they're all regular people. You can see the pictures there. They're volunteers, they're teachers, they're parents, and they're kids, people very passionate about working together. And this space that was created by all of us, is a testament to this idea of the power of people coming together to solve one problem, or a set of problems, or to do a project. And I think that we should applaud them too, if you guys don't mind, just to, for their work and their passion and their commitment. So fast forward to today, October 14th, and we're kicking off our 12th project, the Hip Hop Music and Community Engagement Project. And what's great about this project is that all hands are on deck. This project is happening right now. Orientation is happening right now. And after this talk, I'm gonna head over there to meet with all of them. But this project is being done in partnership with Do Remember Me, which is a youth organization in Philadelphia, and then Camera Expressions, which is a music organization in Cameroon. And the goal of this project is basically to tell people positive things about Africa, Nigeria, the US, and Cameroon through song and lyrics and rap music, and creating our own sound with that album. And the only reason that that project is gonna be successful is because of the power of people. So the previous slide, yes, this one, thank you, of the mural at Area F headquarters. We did a mural with the police, the Nigerian police force, earlier this year. And the reason I wanted to show this image is because when we think about a collaborator, we think of people that are more positive, and I'm sure we all have had our own run-ins with the police that haven't been so positive. But what was great about this experience is that the police decided to add value to the lives of the young people involved in this project and the artists and visiting artists from Meridian International Center to create this project to share information about peace and security in Lagos. They answered the call to be part of this community of people who wanted to collaborate on completing this project, and they made sure that we had what we needed. They engaged us, they painted with us, and that's the Nigeria police, you know what I mean? So it was really amazing, and it was positive, and it was encouraging. So I'm going back to this slide of the Cuban citizens in the 1960s dispatching themselves into various parts of Cuba to teach people how to read. And the reason I wanted to look at these images is because I want us to look at how they're all gathering together and deciding to work together to solve this problem, this issue of illiteracy, and think about how we can do that in Lagos, work together to dispatch thousands of people, volunteers, or students who would be interested in teaching a community of people about things like rape, rape awareness, recycling, the issues of power, like collaborating with the government to figure out the issues of power. All these things can be done with the power of people working together to solve these problems. I have these quotes here to kind of bring home this idea of collaboration and teamwork. This quote says, "Individually we are one drop, but together we are an ocean." Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. If you want to lift yourself up, lift someone else up. Find a group of people who challenge and inspire you and spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life, But my favorite quote is the one at the bottom: "Sticks in a bundle are unbreakable." I want us to think of ourselves as sticks, In Nigeria especially, everyone is doing so many different things. You have one organization doing this, you have a group of people doing this, and a company doing that. But just imagine if we combined our efforts and we worked together to solve some of these issues. Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." And what's really great about our projects is that every time we start a project, we wonder how we're gonna do it. And somehow we're able to get it done every time with the help of volunteers, with the help of our parents, with the help of teachers and schools and companies that have decided to invest in these communities and in the next generation of Nigerians and Africans. So think about what we all could do together. So I wanna challenge you guys to find organizations to collaborate with. We need your help. We want to work with you. We want to collaborate with you. Invest in, a student that you might see walking on the road and maybe teach them how to read or just mentor them. Support organizations like Do Remember Me or NMA in Ghana. These are people that we've worked on that need the support. So I want to say that let's make the impossible possible together, okay? Come collaborate with us and see the power of people in action and be part of it. Thank you.